Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'll be going over packet number 6, day 2, Tuesday. Before we get started, I do want to remind you that we want y'all to be focusing more on Edgenuity. Packets are still available to those students that do not have internet access or a device that is capable of them getting on Edgenuity. If you need help getting logged on to your Edgenuity account, go over to Ms. Conkle's video from yesterday. She has step-by-step instructions on how you can get logged in. If you just need your login information, contact any of your teachers and we'll be happy to help y'all with that. So getting started on packet number 6, Tuesday's assignment. Both of these are dealing with unit rates. So before we get started, I do want to kind of discuss something that I've discussed with my students before. If you're finding the unit rate of something, meaning unit means 1, so you're wanting to know 1 of something when you're given a number of more than 1. So for example, the first question is talking about 170 miles, but it's in 4 hours. So if we want to know 1 of that, we're going to take the number that we want 1 of. It's going to go on the outside of your division bar. The next one is going to go inside. So getting started, it says a train travels 170 miles in 4 hours. How far will the train travel in 6 hours if it travels at the same speed? So we want to know for 6 hours, but it gives us 4 hours. So let's find 1 hour. We're going to take that 4, since that's what we want to know 1 of, and we're going to place it on the outside of the division. And then we're going to take the 170, the miles, and put it on the inside. So 4 does not go into 1, so we're going to put a 0 over 1. It does go into 17. It goes in 4 times. 4 times 4 is 16. And we're going to subtract that, and it leaves us with 1. This is what we've got so far. Now we do need to bring down that 0. So that 1 is now going to become a 10. 4 goes into 10 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. And we're going to subtract 8 from 10, and that leaves us with 2. Now we're out of numbers to divide by, so we're going to place a decimal at the end. Now remember, with decimals, you have to bring them straight up with the division. So put a decimal and bring it up, and I can now add a 0. I'm going to bring that 0 down, and 4 goes into 20 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20, and we've divided it all the way out. So what it's told us here is that when given 4 hours for 170 miles, we found that 1 hour is 42.5. Now going back and reading your question, it does not ask for 1 hour, it asks for 6. So now what I can do is I can take the miles for 1 hour, 42 and a half, 42.5, and I can multiply that number by 6. 6 times 5 is 0. 6 times 5 is 30. 0, carry the 3. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 3 is 15. We're going to put that 5 down, and we're going to carry the 1. 6 times 4 is 24. Plus 1 is 25. So far we have 2,550. Now we have a decimal up here. Remember, when you have a decimal in your multiplication, you got to figure out how many numbers are behind that decimal. Well, we have 1 number behind the decimal, so that means in my answer I need to have 1 number behind the decimal. So place my decimal down, and now that tells me that in 6 hours they would have traveled 255 miles. All right. So moving on to number 4. Number 4 says, a car wash sells a special package of 12 car washes for $95.40. What is the cost per car wash? Okay, so it's saying per car wash, so that means 1 car wash. So we want to know 1 of something. We want to know its unit rate. So again, we can take our division. Remember, what you want to know 1 of goes on the outside. So do we want to know $1? Do we want to know 1 car wash? Well, per car wash, 1 car wash. So that 12 is going to now go on the outside. And the $95.40 is going to go on the inside. Since I have a decimal inside my division, I'm going to bring that decimal straight up. I'm going to start with that so that I know exactly where that decimal needs to go. And it goes right there. So now we get started. 12 does not go into 9, so we're going to put a 0 over the 9. 12 does go into 95. It goes in 7 times. So we're going to take 12 and multiply it by 7. 7 times 2 is 14. We're going to put the 4 down, carry the 1. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8. So it goes in 84 times. I'm going to now subtract that from 95, which leaves me with 11. This is where we're at so far. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is bring down that 4. 12 goes into 114 9 times. So 12 times 9. 2 times 9 is 18. Put the 8 down, carry the 1. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 1 is 10. So that's 108. So we're going to subtract 108. Oh, I got to put the 9 on top of the 4. Okay, so we're going to subtract 108. 8 cannot come out of 4, so we're going to borrow. The 1 next to the 4 now becomes a 0, and that 4 becomes a 14. If I take 8 out of 14, I'm left with 6. 0 out of 0 is 0, and 1 out of 1 is 0. So this is what we have so far. I'm sure that's in the screen. And I can bring down that last 0. Now, 12 goes into 60. It goes into 65 times. 12 times 5. 5 times 2 is 0. Carry, it's actually going to be 10. Carry the 1. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 1 is 6. 60. And I have gotten to the 0. And there we go. So one car wash costs $7.95. All right, guys. Hope you all have a great week, and I'll be back on here next week with week 7, Tuesday's assignment.